Hello and welcome to Katrinas Creations. This is our Saturday edition, and please ignore the glare from the light over on the other side of me from my window. Yeah, this is where I'm filming today. So let's get started. I have some finished objects. If you saw the thumbnail a couple seconds ago, you'll know I have some little chickens. I made 5, let me get them all. 5 little chickens. This is for our craft fairs, and this is made from Dollar Tree yarn. It's the Parfait. It's a premier yarn. What is it called? Just Chenille. That's what it is. It's just Chenille. It's not quite the same as their Parfait yarn. This is a little thinner, so I used a little smaller crochet hook so that it would, have a tight weave. So we have little chick number 1, chick number 2, and they have this cute little thing on the top of their head. I made these last year and they sold fairly well, but I did change the pattern a little bit. Last year they kind of looked like little bowling balls, or little bowling pins is what they reminded me of. This year I made them so they have kind of a more flat little bottom. So I just kind of crocheted straight down, and then I inserted the polyfill, and then I crocheted the bottom on so that they do, when you put them on a table, they do stand up, where the ones last year didn't. So I have 2 with the little red combs, and then the other 3 have just the yellow, little yellow. And then I also made little eggshells for each of them, so they can each sit in their little eggshell. So I have 5 of those. And then my other finished object is I have another market bag. This is the one I was working on last week. And this is Maggie May Crochet. This is her tutorial. So I don't remember what this yarn is. I remember buying it at Joann's. Many years ago, it became a hitchhiker shawl, which I put on one time, and it was way too big. So I ripped the whole thing out, and the yarn's been sitting there for years. So I made it into a market bag, and I have enough left to make a second one. So you'll see that one I'm working on. So this is market bag number 3 at this point. So those are my finished objects. So now I'll get into my works in progress. There it is. This is the other market bag, and I have another skein of this yet. So this is how far I've gotten on it so far. Looks like a little skirt or a beard, but anyway. So that is the next market bag that I'm working on. Then I'll show you my knitting. This is the Sweetwater Tea. It is a free Barocco pattern. The designer of it is Asa Buchta. I think I'm pronouncing that right, Buchta. But it is a free pattern. It's over on Barocco as well. And here it is. It's knit from the bottom up, so you have garter stitch here, and then it's all stockinette. I will say something with this yarn, and this is yarn that I got at Hobby Lobby quite a few years ago when they had one of their big clearance sales. It's now discontinued. It is extremely soft, but it doesn't knit neat looking. Let me see if I can get this close enough. There, you can see it. It kind of looks uneven, and I'm not an uneven knitter, but just the way the yarn is, because it's kind of like a boucle type of yarn. I like it, but it doesn't knit up when you look at it close. It doesn't look crisp and neat the way I kind of like it. But yeah, it is going to be very comfortable to wear. And let me see if I can show you where I was at last week. Here we go. Last week I had just joined. This is the front, and this is the front, this is the back. And I was just here last week, and now I have gone up to here. And at this point, I'm just going around and around and around and around until I reach under the arms. I am making it longer than what the pattern calls for because the pattern is almost like a long crop top, and I want something longer than that. So I will be making it longer, and I've officially started the second skein of yarn. So yeah, so that's project number 2 that I'm working on. And then the other work in progress is the blanket I feel like I've been doing forever, and that's the moss stitch blanket. And let me see where I was at last week. The front and back look the same, so it's hard to tell. But here we go. That's where I was last week. So I have gone up this far, so I have done, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4.5 repeats of the 4 colors since last week. So it is really getting long at this point. I did measure it against the chair earlier this week to see whether I really needed to make it a whole lot longer, and I do. So thankfully I have the yarn. I have 1 skein left of each of the 4 colors. So I should have plenty. So that's what I've been working on this week. What have you been working on? So if you missed yesterday's video, I kind of cleaned out some of my cowls and my shawlettes, and in the process of that I showed you what they were and named the pattern if I knew what it was. If you missed that and you want to check it out, you can click the link right here. That'll take you over to it if you want to see my collection of cowls and shawlettes. When I say shawlettes, they're not like a full-size shawl, they're more like something you would wear around your neck, like a kerchief type of shawl. So yeah, that's what I shared there. And if you remember in that video, if you missed it and you want to check it out, you can. But in that video, I showed one infinity scarf cowl that was Tunisian crocheted, and I didn't like it because the way the edging looked. It was one of my first Tunisian crochet projects, and it didn't come out very even. But I did want to save the yarn because the yarn dyer I bought up in Damariscotta, Maine, and the yarn store I bought it from is now no longer there. So, and it is pretty yarn because all of the lady's yarn that she dyed was all done with shades of the ocean. So I ripped it out. So here it is. I don't remember what it was anymore. But this is like a, I'd say DK to worsted weight. So it will become another cowl of some kind in the future. And the other one, I've had a hole in, if you remember rightly. I did remember afterward what the yarn was. This yarn was a Zauber ball, and I remember buying it at Madison Wool up in Connecticut. And I loved this yarn. And I wear this scarf a lot because I really like the colors in it. It's got my turquoise in it, and purples and teals. Yeah, and it had a great big hole in it. And this is the hitchhiker pattern. So what I did, I ripped it, and of course the hole was right in the middle. It couldn't be at the end of the shawl. It had to be right in the middle. I literally ripped half of it out, and I am putting it back together at some point, so it's all the stitches are still live. I just need to go back and look at the pattern and see what size needles I used for this. And then I will pick up and re-knit it minus the hole. And it turns out when I got to that part and ripped it open, there actually, where that hole was, and it was pretty good size, the more I tried to fix it, the bigger the hole got, because it turns out the yarn was broken in 2 different places. So the only thing I can think is where I store them. It is like a wire drawer, and I'm just wondering if it's snagged or broke. The yarn maybe broke or something, caught on one of the sharp edges of the wire. My first worry was, oh no, do I have moths or something like that? Because this is a wool yarn. It's actually a German yarn. But yeah, I didn't find any damage on anything else in there, so I think more than likely what happened, it got caught on a sharp spot on that drawer, and it actually broke the yarn in 2 places. So yeah, that's a future project. So that was yesterday's video. This Friday's video is going to be something different. It's not yarn related, but I watch a YouTuber called Do It on a Dime. I have watched her for years. If you don't watch her, she's fun to watch because she shops the Dollar Tree all the time, and she does some really neat crafts with some of her Dollar Tree finds that really end up looking very high quality and like a luxury type of item. And she showed this one project she recently did, and so I went to the Dollar Tree and I bought some of the things, and we're going to have a craft session. I'm going to try to get this. I'm hoping mine turn out as pretty as what hers were. But it involves glassware. So yeah, check out Friday's video and see if what I do turns out looking as good as hers. So that will be this coming Friday's video. So now it's time for, now in our Come and Get It section, if you're interested in any of the sales that I talk about, the links are down below in the description box. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing by clicking that little red button and the bell-shaped icon next to it. And if you are already a subscriber and you're enjoying this video, please give me a thumbs up. It really does help with the YouTube analytics. So let's get started with the sales. The first one I know about is Knit Picks. Now Knit Picks ran a sale earlier this week. I did put out a short little video. They had yarn for $2 a skein, $4 a skein, or $6 a skein. And I said in the video I was going shopping. I did go look, but I didn't end up buying anything because I just honestly couldn't think of anything I really needed that they had. So yeah, and I'll be getting some more things when we go on vacation later this summer, so yeah, I decided not to. But anyway, the summer yarn sale at Knit Picks continues, and this, right now they are running 60% off of their bulky yarn and more. So 60% off. Like I said, this is their summer sale. It runs several weeks, so each couple days they change to something else that they're selling. So that is the current one, is bulky yarn. Lion Brand has 30% off of yarn and kits. Mary Maxim is running a summer clearance sale as well. They didn't have a specific percentage off, they just said it was a summer clearance sale. And Lovecrafts has paint box DK and cotton Aran yarn for $2, starting at $2 a ball. So yeah, if you like paint box DK or cotton Aran weight yarn, they have that on sale for around $2 a ball. So those are the sales that I know about. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you again on Friday when Katrina will try to do something with glassware without breaking it or hurting myself. So stay tuned if you want to check it out. Bye everybody.